Full spoilers ahead for Star Wars Ahsoka. The final episode of Ahsoka is out, so here's my video breakdown of the episode, and at the end I'll share my thoughts. Episode 8, titled The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord, starts on the Chimera, where Elsbeth tells Thrawn that the cargo transfer is complete. Enoch informs him that they've found where Ahsoka is, and he tells him to send 2 TIE fighters. She tells him that there's nothing that the enemy can do to stop them now. He corrects her by saying that he saw many officers be defeated with that same overconfidence. He thanks the Great Mothers, and they thank him, and they then gift Morgan with dark powers, which gives her markings on her face like the other Night Sisters. They then give her the Blade of Talzin. The fighters then launch to intercept Ahsoka. We then go back over to Ahsoka's ship, where Ezra has built a new lightsaber, and Hu Yang gives him the same emitter as Kanan, which I loved to see. Ezra asks him why Sabine and Ahsoka are not trading anymore. He explains that after the purge of Mandalore, Ahsoka felt that Sabine was training to be a Jedi for revenge. Sabine then goes to Ahsoka and tells her that her gamble paid off. She's not mad at her because she has also made hard decisions as well. As Ezra comes out to say that he's finished his lightsaber, the TIE fighters show up and take out the engines of the ship. Ahsoka and Ezra jump down to prevent the ship from crushing the turtle people. Sabine then puts all power in the engines and rams the fighters, and then crashes. So their ship is now down. But Ahsoka says that this will stop them only if they let it. Enoch then informs Thrawn that the fighters had found the Jedi and damaged their ship, but they lost contact. Thrawn then orders him to prepare for a ground assault. Ahsoka and the others then start running to the Star Destroyer on their mounts. At the Chimera, Elsbeth has assembled troops to defend the ship. Thrawn asks her if they have been informed, to which she says they were, so we'll see what that is in just a bit. Ahsoka and the others then arrive to where the Star Destroyer is, and Ahsoka says that they'll be going through the front door. They then start towards the ship. Thrawn sees them coming and orders them to rain hellfire upon them. The Star Destroyer opens fire on them, but they're able to get inside the fortress with Ezra and Sabine using the Force together to open the door. Disappointed, Thrawn goes to inform the Great Mothers that it is time. Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra then defeat all the Night Troopers, but the Night Sisters then start to use their magic and they reanimate the Night Troopers. So they did become zombies. We were just wrong on when that would be. As you'd expect, shooting them and stabbing them doesn't work, so they shut the blast doors. The Eye of Sion then starts to attach to the Star Destroyer, which gets Ahsoka and the others moving. Thrawn tells Elsbeth that the Jedi are getting close to getting on the ship, so he has her stay behind to cover them. He then tells her for the Empire, and when he leaves she says for Dathomir. Ahsoka then turns the corner to find Morgan there. She tells Sabine and Ezra to go on to stop Thrawn from leaving. They then start a very samurai-like duel. It was really cool. Sabine and Ezra then come up to where the Star Destroyer is and are attacked by Death Troopers. Ezra stabs one, but it doesn't do anything and it just knocks him over. Thrawn then begins to leave in his ship. Sabine shoots one of the Death Troopers in the face, shattering his helmet, but underneath it's a zombie. It grabs her and starts to strangle her, but she uses the Force and gets her lightsaber and stabs him in the head. She then helps Ezra as he's being beaten up, and he gets his lightsaber and cuts its head off. The Night/Death Troopers then come into the room where Ahsoka and Morgan Elsbeth are and begin to push her out. Sabine tells Ezra to jump so that he can get on the ship before it leaves. He says that it won't work, but she says to trust her, and with a boost from her, he gets on the Chimera. He then tells her to get on the ship too, but as she's about to, she sees Ahsoka come up behind her holding off all the Night Troopers. She decides to stay with her and help. As she was in The Mandalorian, Morgan does pretty well against Ahsoka. She even destroys one of her lightsabers. Sabine then comes over to help and starts cutting up the Night Troopers. Ahsoka starts fighting Elsbeth again and she gets her sword and kills her. Thrawn then orders them to open fire on the tower. As it's starting to fall down, Sabine and Ahsoka jump off and are picked up by Hu Yang. They then start to go after the Chimera. As Thrawn gets ready to go to hyperspace, he opens a channel to talk to Ahsoka. He says,
Ahsoka Tano, allow me to commend you on your efforts today. You've been Quite a worthy opponent.
Can you not get me any more power?
I regret we haven't met face to face, and perhaps now we never shall. Still, I know you because I knew your master. I concluded your strategies would be similar. One wonders just how similar you might become. Perhaps this is where a Ronin such as you belongs. Today, victory is mine. Long live the Empire.
This scene is one of the best moments of the whole show. I have been watching this part over and over, and every time I keep getting chills. I like how he used his knowledge of Anakin to beat her, and that he calls her a Ronin. And the music. That deserves its own video. So yeah, he escapes. We now go into the prologue, and Ahsoka and Sabine go back to the... I don't remember their names, so I'll just call them the Turtle People. They go back to the Turtle People, and Ahsoka sees Morai the Convert, the little owl that was standing there. So that's a whole story, maybe I'll tell later. But basically, it's Ahsoka's spirit animal / guardian. We then see Shin as she's at the Raider camp. So maybe she's there to forcefully lead them. We then go to Balin, and he's standing on a statue of the Father looking at Mordor. Okay, not that, but some cool mountains. Those statues are really important. The Father is a Force god, and also there is the daughter and brother, who represent the light and dark side. So since the statues of the ones are there, then that might mean that some of the theories about the power that he was after might be true. That power being Abeloth. For those who don't know who that is, she's an old book character from the Fate of the Jedi series. She's a shape-shifting Force demigod that's related to the Ones. It's a whole thing, and it would be weird to bring into live action. But she is not good. One of, if not the most evil beings in the galaxy. And also, it's interesting that these statues are in another galaxy. That's very odd, because they were in the Star Wars galaxy originally. Anyway, the Chimera then arrives at Dathomir, where the Night Sisters are most likely going to reanimate the bodies of other Night Sisters in the cargo. It's most likely bodies, we're not 100% sure. Ezra then comes back to Home 1, where he meets Hera again. Ahsoka tells Sabine that she did well. She says that Thrawn got away, but Ahsoka tells her that Ezra got home. But as she starts walking away, Sabine says that she felt something, but she just brushes it off. Ahsoka then goes up and feels it, and then walks away. With Ahsoka's theme playing, we see Anakin as a Force ghost, and he smiles. And the show ends. So that's the season finale. I thought it was just great. This show is just a huge step up in writing and visuals compared to Kenobi and Mando Season 3. The acting from Ray Stevenson and Lars Mikkelsen was incredible. I was engaged every scene they were in. Seeing a lot of the weird stuff that Star Wars has in live action was awesome. I still don't really like that Sabine is now Force sensitive, but it wasn't done in the worst way. It was fine. This show is just basically a prologue of how Thrawn came back to the main galaxy so that he can be in the other shows and upcoming movie. But I'll save my other thoughts for the full season review. Anyway, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Alright, goodbye.